by the way, enjoy all of this while you can, because CNN just alerted us we only have 30 years left. Now, other people are saying 9 or 8, but the U.S. sea levels will rise rapidly.
No.
Yeah, rapidly in the next 30 years, according to a new report from CNN.
Okay.
It's an alarming forecast for the United States of America. Sea level rise. The sea level will rise as much in the next 30 years as it did in the past 100.
Wait, we've seen the picture, 100-year-old picture,
right,
that shows it hasn't changed at all off the coast of England.
Right. Well, that's what they're saying. The next 30 years are going to be so much worse than the last 100.
Oh, okay.
You could throw all that out the window,
made their
my
point.
friend.
I see. Okay.
Yeah. Increasing the frequency of high tide flooding, pushing storm surge to the extreme, of course, and inundating vulnerable coastal infrastructure with salt water. That doesn't sound good.
It does not.
It sounds like all of the cataclysmic movies that we see now, that where the sea level is all through Manhattan, and you've probably seen movies with that.
I've seen the clips.
Theme.
I'm not watching Day After Tomorrow or whatever it is. Oh, let's hide in the library.
Well, that's the only place,
the only place
that can withstand the 100-degree below weather.
Oh.
Yeah.
Are there still books in there to burn, or had they already done that by then?
No, there's a few left.
Okay.
Yeah, and you'll be fine if you make it in there. The interagency report, led by the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, NOAA, shows how scientists are increasingly confident that U.S. coasts will see another 10 to 12 inches of sea level rise by 2050. Implications of that forecast are enormous.
Oh, no.
The underwater future. What sea level rise will look like around the globe? Well, this report is a wake-up call for at least the United States, but it's a wake-up call with a silver lining.
Oh, okay. All right. We got some hope.
Yeah.
All right.
It provides us with information needed to act now to best position ourselves for the future. Right. This gives them another excuse to scream global warming, climate change, sea level rise, and so we've got to stop all
and build back better
of our industry and build back better. Right. Capitalism has to go because that's what's killing this planet. I don't know if you're aware of that. Really, the biggest problem we face right now is capitalism.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well, when you say it like that,
then it spurs you to do something about it, I hope.
Yeah.
Beyond 2050, the amount of sea level rise the U.S. will experience is highly dependent on how much the world cuts fossil fuel emissions, well, of course, and limits global temperature rise.
Wait, is that the silver lining?
That's, I guess so, yeah, because we can do something about it.
Oh.
Robert Kopp, a climate scientist at Rutgers and co-author of the report, said sea level rise is becoming increasingly sensitive to the amount of warming the planet is experiencing. For example,
example time.
If global warming can be held to around 2 degrees above pre-industrial levels, NOAA estimates sea level rise in the U.S. could be limited to 2 feet by the end of the century. If temperatures are allowed to skyrocket, like we have any control over that, it's just asinine. That forecast increases to not 2 feet, but 7 feet.
Boom, 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 boom.
The ice shelf holding back the Doomsday Glacier could shatter within the next 5 years, scientists warn.
Because it's so warm, right? Is that what's happening? It's melting and whatnot?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's like when you have ice in a glass and it melts and then it spills all over your table. You know how that works?
No, it doesn't.
And you're like, wait.
No, that's not
how
it goes. No.
I thought the volume didn't change, but I guess it does.
Precisely. And people need to remember that. The volume does not change. It's like if you have a cube of ice is taking up, and just pull it out, right?
Yeah.
It's taking up as much space as the water would.
Right.
Almost identical.
So when it melts back into a liquid form, it's the same level. Same level. You know, and Michael Schellenberger, I think it's him that makes that point in his book. It's like, hey, the glass of water thing is a real thing. Okay, the glass of water with ice in it, when it melts, what happens? Does it overflow the glass? No. Why? Because the volume's the same. That's why. So,
well, our education system will take care of people learning that. Kids will know.
Yeah, our kids are learning the opposite.
Yep.
You know, and Why do we mock this? I don't know, because they've been wrong every single time.
I mean, you say that a lot, okay?
Yeah.
But do you have
But can I give any examples?
Right.
No, I can't.
You cannot.
Okay, I can give a couple of examples.
Okay. Let's try. Let's see if you can.
Modern doomsayers have been predicting climate and environmental disaster since the 1960s, at least. And they continue to do it today. None of the apocalyptic predictions with due dates as of today have come true. Do they care about that?
No.
Not in the least. They just keep making them.
And this was this was all put together by the Competitive Enterprise Institute, I think.
Let's see. Thanks, Tony Heller, who first collected many of these news clips and posted them on Real Climate Science.
Okay, Real Climate Science did it, and then I think CEI put them together. But yeah, I mean, they've not gotten anything right. So just remember that as they continue to make doomsaying prediction after prediction here.
And again, we've mentioned some of these before, but I think it's worth mentioning when new things come out like CNN. We're all going to be underwater in 30 years. Yeah. No, we're not. No, we're not. While such predictions have been and continue to be enthusiastically reported by the media for sensational headlines, the failures are never revisited, except by us. In 1967, the headline was, 67, dire famine by 1975. Is it 1975 yet?
Now this is math. I don't know. I don't know.
Here's how the article went.
Okay.
It's already too late for the world to avoid a long period of famine.
It was too late in what did you say, 68?
Yeah, 67.
Wow.
Yeah, it's already too late. Sorry, you're going to die in a famine. And of course, it's Paul Ehrlich, who's wrong about everything, and then people still turn to him today. Hey, Paul, what do you think is going to happen? Why would you ask this of a man who has never been correct in his entire career? So Ehrlich said the time of famines is upon us and will be at its worst and most disastrous by 1975. He said the population of the United States is already too big, that birth control may have to be accompanied by making it involuntary. Oh, so forced child limits like they had in China for so long. That worked really well in China with 1.4 billion people. And by the way, they took off those limits in China because they're thinking, geez, we've got zero population growth going right now. So they might have to put sterilizing agents into staple foods and drinking water.
Wow.
Can you imagine?
Wow.
And that the Roman Catholic Church should be pressured into going along with the routine measures of population control. Oh, okay, Paul. Good thing nobody listened to your stupid nonsense. The New York Times, I mean, that was way before the time when people were taking this seriously.
Yeah.
You kind of laughed it off back then, but now that's not happening anymore. New York Times, Sunday, August 10th, 1969.
Okay.
Foe of pollution, like pollution has allies. Yeah, I want more pollution. Foe of pollution sees lack of time. Asserts environmental ills outrun public concern.
Oh, no.
Boy, that's for sure. 1969, that's really... Oh, and again, the trouble with almost all environmental problems, says Paul Ehrlich, the population biologist, is that by the time we have enough evidence to convince people, you're dead. We must realize that unless we're extremely lucky, everybody will disappear in a cloud of blue steam in 20 years.
I love it.
Ouch. Let's see. Okay, since 1969. Have 20 years passed yet? Huh. This would have been 1989. I didn't see the cloud of blue steam.
You didn't see that?
There's still quite a number of people on this planet. Wrong again, Paul. But thanks for playing our game. Jeez. Source, New York Times, August 10th, 1969. 1970 is when this prediction happened. Ice Age by 2000 was the headline. So an ice age. The exact opposite of what they're predicting now, but caused by the exact same thing, CO2. Air pollution, scientists predicts a new ice age by 21st century. This is great.
Where is it?
Air pollution may obliterate the sun and cause a new ice age in the first third of the next century. The demands for cooling water will boil dry the entire flow of the rivers and streams of continental United States. Wow, all our water is going to be gone. Dang it. That's from James P. Lodge Jr. made that dire prediction.
In 1970. Okay.
Yeah, so an ice age by 2000. And then here we are with Paul Ehrlich again. Dr. Ehrlich, outspoken ecologist to speak. And what did he have to say? Well, giving aspirins to cancer victims is what Paul Ehrlich thinks of current proposals for pollution control. No real action has been taken to save the environment, he maintains. And it does need saving. Ehrlich predicts that the oceans will be as dead as Lake Erie in less than a decade.
Wait.
Again, that's from October 6th, 1970.
And we ended up taking care of Lake Erie. So
yeah.
like even that ended up...
Right. Lake Erie is really pretty clean now. At least it doesn't burst into flame anymore.
Right. Where is Paul Ehrlich still around? I mean,
he is. And he's still making the same kind of predictions.
He needs to answer for this stuff.
Seriously, nobody holds his feet to the fire. America will be subject to water rationing by 1974 and food rationing by 1980. Damn it.
Yeah.
I hate that when that happens. And then they wonder why we're skeptical. They wonder, why don't you believe? Why are you conspiracy theorists deny science?
You know, as you're reading these, Pat, all I can think of is the COVID stuff. The same elites in our society make these dire predictions about COVID.
Yep.
And then we're expected to change our life.
Right. U.S. scientist sees new ice age coming. This from 1971 now. Dr. S.L. Razul of the National Aeronautics and Space Administration, or NOAA, and Columbia University. So all these brainiacs, all these elitists, just absolutely trying to scare the crap out of Americans so that, we'll end industry in this country and let China completely take over. If they had their way, that's what would happen. In the next 50 years, he said, in 1971 again, so it's been beyond that now, the fine dust man constantly puts into the atmosphere by fossil fuel burning could screen out so much sunlight that the average temperature could drop by 6 degrees. If sustained over several years, 5 to 10, he estimated, such a temperature decrease could be sufficient to trigger an ice age. Of course.
So the 70s...
we were all worried about an ice age.
Right.
Brought on, by the same thing that is contributing to global warming.
And on with the predictions.
That's crazy. Then there's this from Brown University from 1972, December 3rd, 1972. So they had a big meeting.
All right.
And
let's get this thing
got together
fixed.
A bunch of scientists, reported back to the president, Dear Mr. President, the main conclusion of the meeting was that a global deterioration of climate by order of magnitude larger than any hitherto experienced by civilized mankind.
Get a hitherto.
Yeah. The very real possibility, and indeed may be due very soon.
Oh, no.
The cooling has natural cause and falls within the rank of processes which produced the last ice age.
Wow. The letter to the President of the United States in 1972. Here comes the next ice age. Too late.
And then in 1974, we get this new ice age coming fast. I love it. We should tweet this out so people can go over
we're going to
show their global warming friends.
Yep.
Space satellites show new ice age coming fast.
1974. Boy, so they're on the ice age kick.
Yeah. Yeah, they're certain that an ice age is coming. It happens that blocking any... Yeah, okay, I can't read it.
Oh, let's see here. I already closed my deal here. You want to throw it over here?
Already,
Let's see.
It's already jammed together.
It happens at blocking
something.
Anticyclones.
Oh, is that what it is?
Play an important role in the characteristics of weather in the northern hemisphere and account for some adverse changes in our own climate. However,
dang it.
So Pat, you got another one there? Is there something from Time?
Another
magazine?
Ice Age?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, from Time. This from June 24th, 1974. Telltale signs are everywhere.
Yeah, everywhere.
And we hear the same stupid thing today.
Okay, so that was, 1974, Time magazine?
74.
Okay, so then something happens.
Uh-huh.
All right, and then 15 years later...
These are all Ice Age predictions.
All Ice Age stuff,
Keep
right?
in mind.
And then something changes.
Oh, wow. Now there's a great peril to life.
What?
Gas pairs away Earth's ozone. Remember the ozone problem?
Oh, snap.
We're going to lose the ozone layer.
There we go.
There was a hole in the ozone.
Where a tree once stood?
Yes.
And
somebody's making
There's a
money.
hole in the sky where the tree once was. Somebody's making money.
So now we had the ozone situation, which you don't hear a peep about anymore. Why? Because the ozone fixed itself. The Earth self-repairs. It's amazing that way. It's absolutely amazing what the Earth can do. And they know this, but they just keep making the dire predictions anyway. Because it's not really about saving the planet. It's about increasing their power and control and their bank accounts. You know, you look at a guy like Al Gore, who was just probably average as far as, congressional wealth is concerned. And then what happened? He left office, devoted full time to climate change, global warming, bought into every industry he talked about, and became a climate billionaire. I mean, the guy's a climate billionaire. And nobody says, hey, he's exploiting, he's playing on our fears. Remember that? A little discussion?
I sure do.
And nobody says that about him.
No, he's
he betrayed our country.
He cares about this planet, Pat.
And,
are
you kidding me?
There's no...
Absolutely does. I got to find that.
You got to find, okay.
Yeah. And...
He betrayed this country.
Yeah. He played on our fears.
He took America.
Talking about Bush, of course, George W.
On an ill-conceived foreign adventure, dangerous to our troops, an adventure that was preordained and planned before 9/11 ever took place.
Oh,
wow. Wow, that's incredible. That's incredible.
Okay.
And we got a whole bunch of predictions here. Arctic ozone hole area, which was, going to melt everything, I guess, in the Antarctic. 1976, they talked about the cooling. New York Times book review talked about acid rain killing life in lakes. Yeah, I don't hear anything about acid rain anymore either.
Yeah, where's the acid rain?
I miss acid rain. Don't you miss it?
Yes.
Yeah, that was a good discussion. That was fun.
You were afraid every time it was going to rain, your skin was going to melt.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But 10 years later, the U.S. government program formed to study acid rain concluded, that there's no problem there. In 1978, no end in sight to the 30-year cooling trend. Also in 1978, January 5th, 1978. But according to NASA satellite data, there's a slight warming trend since 1979.
So we've tweeted this out at Pat Unleash if you want to follow along here. But we need to make a leap here to 1989 because 10 years removed, the United Nations gets involved.
Yeah, and they're talking global warming.
And now it's global warming time is the problem here.
And James Hansen, who is screaming also with Paul Ehrlich about the coming ice age. Now, in 1988, James Hansen forecasts increased regional drought from global warming in the 1990s.
Oh, boy.
Man, oh, man. 1988 also from Washington, D.C. days over 90 to from 35 to 85. What? I don't even understand that headline.
So I guess they're saying there were 85 days, right, that were over 90 degrees.
It went from 35 to 85 days over 90.
But the truth of it is the number of hot days in the D.C. area peaked in 1911 and have been declining ever since.
Yeah, and that's what they keep harping on. It's going to be frequent and more severe. And none of that is true. None of it. So, 15 years later, the global warming push was underway. UN predicts disaster if global warming not checked. They smartened up, though. They realized, all right, people aren't buying global warming because it gets cold too often. And plus, we'd have to claim, and they still are really, that every single year is warmer than the one before. And so that's when they came up with climate change, climate weirding, all of the things that they use.
Yeah, so in 2000, quote, children won't know what snow is. Remember that one? Let's see. Britain's going to have a Siberian climate by 2020. That's in 2004.
Oh, wow.
But wait a minute. That should have been said 20 years prior. Remember when they were doing all the cold stuff?
Yeah.
Oh, Al Gore, your buddy over there, warns of an ice-free Arctic by 2013. And again, since I'm not good at math here, you got to help me out. 2013. Has that happened yet?
No, not yet.
So that's still out there.
Some time. Yeah.
So that might happen yet.
A senior UN environmental official says entire nations could be wiped off the face of the earth by rising sea levels if the global warming trend is not reversed by the year 2000.
2009, Prince Charles says only 8 years to save the planet. So what's 8 plus 2009, Pat? Again, not good with the math.
Put you right around 2017-ish.
Has that happened?
No.
Okay, so that one's still out.
Yeah, that's still out there. It's only 2022 now. We haven't hit 2017.
But do you want to fix the planet?
I do.
Well, you know how you do that?
How do you do that?
Well,
shut down industry. Stop driving cars.
Stop driving cars. Yes, you're on it. Yeah.
No more SUVs.
Or big trucks.
Delivering
goods where they need to go.
Right. Thank you, Keith. Well said. It's madness. And again, we're the stupid ones. Yeah. We're the ones who aren't following science. If we followed science, how many ways would they have taken us in the last 50 years? We would have twisted everything up, shut down our industry, and been passed by China and Russia and Zimbabwe a long time ago.